Yo, what is up, everybody? And welcome back to another Madden 24 online CFM game. We are now in the preseason for the 2027 season here in the Premier Madden League. We're getting ready to boot up year 5, the final year of this online CFM before we move on to greater ventures, different Maddens, maybe even different NCAAs, Road to Glory, all that stuff. But for now, we focus on the present, which is our final season with these Los Angeles Rams. And in this final season, things are going to look different for our Rams because Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp did indeed both retire. We left off on a bit of a cliffhanger after our divisional round against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp, they were on the fence, and it turns out they both retired in the offseason, as well as a lifelong Ram in Rob Havenstein, our right tackle. He also retired. So we got some new faces on the Los Angeles Rams. We have to fill out some different spots in our depth chart, but like we talked about in the past, we were built, we were ready for this moment, and honestly, Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald played longer than we could have ever expected them to. Aaron Donald played into his year 35 or age 35 or age 36 season, you know, so that's pretty crazy. So, you know, we built up our D-line with Gabe Hall, Rayshon Benny, you know, Brian Burns, Byron Young, even Ashton Golight. All those guys are ready. So, you know, obviously there is no replacing Aaron Donald and the abilities he had, like inside stuff and under pressure. But, you know, we just do the best we can with the group that we have. And as far as Cooper Kupp, I mean, Cooper Kupp was going to regress heavily. He was already not the same guy he was before. Kupp already lost his abilities going into the last year of the CFM. So now we just got to find a receiver to take his spot. But as far as the slot receiver role, we're actually going to throw Terry McLaurin into that role. McLaurin is already a built slot receiver. He plays a lot of that in Washington in real life. So, you know, it's going to be a seamless transition to put Scary Terry there. McLaurin actually didn't really regress in the offseason. He's going into, I believe it's age 31 or 32 season. So it was surprising that he only lost like 4 attribute points, didn't lose any speed. So Terry and Julian Fleming should be a more than qualified 1-2 duo. And of course, you know, we have Julian Fleming, so we were more than ready to move on from Cooper Kupp in that aspect. And as you guys are seeing the draft go on, the draft isn't really too important in this sense. We're going into the final year, and, you know, unless we have a CJ Donaldson type rookie that we grab, it's going to be really hard to develop a rookie in a season. So we're not really too focused on the draft. I mean, we are going to be drafting guys nonetheless, and you'll notice that, you know, we are going to be drafting some defensive linemen, and we do need to fill that extra wide receiver 3 role, right? Because we talked about Fleming, we talked about McLaurin, but we still need somebody to take that spot. We let Puka Nacua go in free agencies, so, you know, we're going to try to maybe draft a wide receiver here, and I think the easiest thing to do in Madden is just to find out who the fastest wide receiver is, who ran the fastest 40, who's got elite next to their speed. And we had to go into the undrafted charts to find Eric Singleton Jr. And bam, 97 speed. He can't run a route worth a lick, but if he can go deep, then that can, you know, take the top off the defense, make safeties play over the top, and maybe allow us to run more. So Singleton will provide that aspect, maybe not too much as an actual receiver. I'm not sure we'll start him, but it gives you the Sean Stribling vibes, because remember the Sean Stribling with our New York Giants, and last year in Madden 23, we drafted him, and he was like a 60s, low 60s overall, but he was fast. He was 96 speed, as Devon Jackson's still him. He's still Superman, but yeah, you know, Stribling was fast. I think he was 96 speed. He was also 6'2". Singleton, I believe, is 5'11", but Singleton is 97 speed. So, you know, you got that extra bonus, and we'll see, you know, like I talked about, it's going to be hard to develop somebody. It's going to be impossible to develop somebody like that. Stribling, we actually got to like an 80-something overall superstar because we drafted him in year 4. We're drafting Singleton in year 5 of this CFM, the last year. So, you know, like I said, but if we can just put him out and just have him go deep, having 97 speed Singleton, 99 speed Julian Fleming, and then just give all the space in the world for Terry McLaurin and RJ Maryland to go to work underneath if so need, and like I talked about, put those safeties over the top, which doesn't even matter here. Singleton, he's not going for the single, he's going for the homer on the last play of the first half, and that shows you the value of just pure speed. Who cares what your route running is? Just go long and we'll find you, baby. So, yeah. And the last point I was going to make, of course, is that makes the run game a lot easier for CJ Donaldson and the boys. And, you know, We'll have to find out who our new backup running back is because we let Nick Chubb go in free agency. This, believe it or not, is going to be called a touchdown. Diamador Lenore, kind of iffy coverage there, never got his back turned, but, you know, it looked like he forced an incompletion. Ball came out. Clearly the receiver did not fully secure possession. It didn't look like he took 2 steps with possession of the ball. I'm not sure he took 1 step with possession of the ball. And the booth reviewed it and said, oh, no, things are good. So, yeah, shout out Madden. Of course, this is preseason, so, I mean, it really doesn't matter. So, you know, if it happened in the regular season, I'd be a tad bit more heated. But we're going to turn it around to defensive end as Jalen Guidry, little cornerback. He's got 96 speed. We have the cornerback speed tree that actually gives all of our corners +3 speed. So he's actually 99 speed. So, you know, we're seeing a lot of our backups. Devon Jackson is not one of them, but we're seeing a lot of our backups who, you know, if we have injury concerns, if somebody gets banged up, we know who our next man up is, and we know they're more than qualified. Lenore is going to be a backup. Guidry is going to be a backup. Kobe Bowman, he's been a backup for our team the last couple of years, and he'll stay a backup. You'll notice some of our free agent signings. I'm not going to show it in the video, but, you know, Jalen Hyatt was one of our free agent signings. He's somebody that I figured could take over that wide receiver 3 role, but based on the way that Eric Singleton is playing and looking him downfield with that speed, who cares about the route running once again, right? Just run a post route. Doesn't matter how you break on it, whether you have 62 or 92 route running. What we really need is that speed to find the small crevices. And I mean, who cares what his catching is? Who cares what his stiff arm is? The kid is balling out, and I think we're going to have to put Singleton in that wide receiver 3 role over Jalen Hyatt, who was about an 80 overall. He's 95 speed. You know, that was the role I envisioned Hyatt playing for us, the role that Singleton is now playing, and it seems like doing it in a better fashion. And you might notice that we also added a superstar to our offensive lineman. So we lost Rob Havenstein, and we actually upgraded the position by signing Laramie Tunsil in free agency. I don't know how, but somebody let Laramie Tunsil walk in free agency. He wanted a lot of money. His highest motivation factor to signing was highest financial values. Now, thankfully, you know, the one positive that we have from Kupp, Donald, and Havenstein all retiring is that did give us cap space, especially from Aaron Donald, who was making over $25 million a season. So we were able to use that money to replace one superstar with another in Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil actually has really good abilities. He has threat detector. That's the main reason why I wanted him. He also has, I believe, all day. But, you know, the main reason why we wanted Tunsil, he's a 94 overall with threat detector, which allows you to see blitzing defenders on 3rd and 4th down. So that'll just make our lives easier, man. So anything we do to make our lives easier, why not? And, you know, like I said, we had the cash, so we were willing to make it rain, baby. Just make it rain as we go through the last couple of stuff in the draft. Like I said, you know, we're not really too focused on who we're getting here. We're kind of just drafting for fun more than anything else. And I did say we were drafting some defensive linemen. I did want some defensive line depth because I talked about the guys that we had, but we don't really have many people behind them, right? Guys like Ashton Gallot, they were playing behind the likes of Aaron Donald, behind the likes of Rayshon Benny, but now they got to step into the forefront, and now we got to put their backups on the depth chart because you always got to be prepared for that next man up. We've seen how injuries can completely cripple a roster, right? So always got to, especially with the defensive line. I feel like defensive line and offensive line injuries are the most common. I don't know what it is with Madden, where, you know, they just always get injured in those trenches, but it seems to be what happens. So we actually drafted another receiver here, Courtney Crutchfield. You know, he looks like he has some decent route running and all that, but like, he's a guy that you could develop if we drafted him a year or two ago, but at this point, you know, it's probably going to be too little too late for that guy. Probably won't see the field unless something really goes bad as far as injuries are concerned. And with our final pick, I think we're actually going to draft a quarterback here for fun. So we're going to draft Gronk over here, old Gronk from, I believe it's Penn State, and he's not really going to be anybody that challenges for a starting job or anything like that, but, you know, we'll draft him for fun. So you'll notice our quarterback situation is about the same going into this season. I know some people want Jalen Henderson's head, and honestly, when I play some of these games, I'm one of those people where I really want Jalen Henderson's head. Put it on the stake. I'm done with this guy, but the reality is it's hard for us to upgrade the quarterback position at this point. A lot of people are set on their QBs. No one's going to move a quarterback with one season to go, and if they are, they're going to ask for something pretty valuable in return. And you know, I'd rather keep what our team has and just rock with the quarterback position as it is, just because, you know, I'm not going to give up a superstar to get a quarterback, because, you know, I feel like we can win as a team, and that's something that we've done all year long with these Los Angeles Rams. You know, back at the beginning, we were winning with Matt Stafford, who was clearly on the decline, right? I feel like the quarterback position, while it is the most important position, is, you know, not the position that we need to blow up our team for. We can do what we have to do. It's just, you know, everything else has to be more in control, right? And a lot of the quarterback stuff is user decisions. And, like, you know, yeah, Jalen didn't play great, but I also didn't play great in that last playoff game too. And some of the losses that we had last season, you know, a lot of it's on me as well. You know, when you play with Robbie Ashford and he misses passes, then it's like, oh man, that's kind of annoying. But when you throw a pass with great timing straight to a defender, like, who else? You know, it's not really Jalen's fault, right? So, you know, I feel like Jalen's attributes are actually pretty good enough to be a starting quarterback, so we'll just rock with it and let it fly. And then Robbie Ashford is going to be our backup, and Robbie, okay, Julian Fleming dropping an open pass. Good thing it's preseason and we're just working out the kinks, right? Fleming's going to bounce back on the next play. Oh, juking 2 for the price of 1. Bye, Julian, 93 yards for the touchdown. So Julian Fleming actually unlocked his 4th ability slot, and he got Slot-O-Matic, which is pretty funny because Cooper Kupp was Mr. Slot-O-Matic for the first couple of seasons, and I talked about how Terry was going to be our slot receiver, but look, Julian Fleming has Slot-O-Matic now in his 4th slot for being a 95 overall. We're going to put him in the slot sometimes, you know, but we'll mix it up. Probably, you know, maybe 30% of the time put Fleming in the slot. You know, they run man coverage, then we know what Slot-O-Matic's all about. Cooper Kupp proved that to us all throughout this cycle with our Los Angeles Rams. So, and when you play defense like this, then that also makes things pretty easy, I suppose. So, that's the outlook for our team. We didn't really do anything crazy in free agency. Otherwise, I mean, Tunsil was a huge get. But besides that, you know, we didn't really need to improve much with our Los Angeles Rams. The other big pickup that we got, as you look at the final tally on our draft class, Jalen Thompson actually comes in as a 78 overall, but he's still not really, you know, worthy of seeing the field. We have players that are better at every position on the defensive line, so he's still going to be a backup at the end of the day, and probably not even the first backup off the bench per injury, because we have a couple of guys that we could put in. I signed Daniil Hunter on a cheap contract. He's like an 81 overall at this point in the CFM, and I would play him over that rookie. So, you know, the only rookie that's probably going to see playing time is going to be Eric Singleton, I would say. But otherwise, like I said, we're just doing this for fun, man. We knew what it was going into the draft. It's not like we built our team to not have to worry about this Season 5 draft. So in that sense, we did our job by making the Season 5 draft meaningless, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, as far as free agency, the other big pickup that we got was James Cook. We got James Cook in free agency on a pretty cheap contract, too. He's getting about $5 million. He's a 90 overall or something close like that, or like an 88. So to have him as a backup for CJ Donaldson is going to be terrific, because Nick Chubb was an overqualified backup and he proved his value at times. So, you know, now we're going to go to a more elusive backup in James Cook. So it's not a like-for-like replacement for the bruising CJ Donaldson, but, you know, that offset, that change of pace could also be a good thing. And we also have Antonio Gibson still on the team as a running back. So obviously, you know, going into the last year, there's not too many changes, so the offseason video is not going to be as dramatic, I would guess, to say, because we're not making those crazy moves. We have our team set, which is mainly we had a couple of guys retire more than anything else. So really quick, I tried to mess around with the video settings, the quality settings, as opposed to the usual videos I've been uploading all year long. So let me know if the video looks a little bit better. I just try to change like the color settings and all that, so it's a little bit more eye-popping, because I feel like the normal Madden color settings are pretty dull for some reason. So just to give the game a little bit more life looking at it through the recording, let me know if you guys notice a difference in the comment section. And, you know, if it's good, then we'll stick with it for future videos. And speaking of future videos, the last thing we got to talk about is what we're going to do for the Series 4 Season 5. Because, you know, honestly, it's a month away from NCAA. I'm not really too crazy about playing these games right now. You know, we've exhausted all avenues of playing Madden Online CFM this season, so we're not going to upload every game and every video like we've been doing so far. I'm probably going to be grouping, you know, probably like 3 to 4 games in a video, maybe even more than that. You know, I have 2 ideas for how to format these videos. One of them is just to, you know, kind of like we're doing with the preseason, just put together a couple of highlights from games and throw them into a package where, you know, we have like 4 games in one video, and it's about this long, maybe a couple minutes longer than that, since these are 3 preseason games and regular season would be 4, and you know, do it like that in about a 25-minute video. The other idea I have for this series, for not only this year but going into next year, is that I would just upload perhaps 3 to 4 videos, but full length, or 3 to 4 videos, 3 to 4 games in a video, or maybe like 4 to 5, more than that actually. Like let's say we put 5 games in a video, but it's gonna be more full length, and it would be like a 2-hour long video rather than uploading a video of every single game. So if you guys think it's a good idea, let me know. It's not gonna change the timeline of when these videos get put out. It's just gonna change, I mean, the quantity of the videos that get put out. That's the only thing that's gonna change, because otherwise, you know, with this idea, it's gonna be the same style. You know, it's just gonna be packed into like a 2-hour long upload, and you know, I think that'll be a fun way of uploading, and I think that's the way I want to try to upload this season. So let me know if you guys prefer option A or option B as far as, you know, I think, you know, I feel like whenever I ask this question, it's kind of not even worth it, because more is always the desired option. So, I mean, I suppose just let me know if you guys like option B, and if you don't, then we'll rock with option A. But otherwise, like I said, we're not going to do the normal setup that we've been doing all series long for this upcoming season, because it's Season 5, man. I'm really not trying to put up 16 different videos on Season 5 in June. You know, I'm trying to keep myself mentally ready for when NCAA comes out, because normally, you know, that's the off-season time. Madden content creators don't really be doing much during the summer, but chilling, kicking back and relaxing in the sun. But we got NCAA coming out mid-July, and I'm excited for that. I want to upload some videos on that, so for sure, at least until Madden comes out. So, you know, I'm not sure if I'll be doing much Madden 24 otherwise, because, you know, until then we got NCAA and then Madden, just gearing up for that. So a couple of franchise uploads, couple of top 10, maybe 1 or 2 more top 10 plays of the week episodes, and yeah, I'm probably not going to mess around with anything else with Madden 24. I think we've exhausted this one more than enough. It's June at this point, so we're kind of just chilling. So yeah, that's the plan with all that. And I know you guys are wondering, I believe the franchise in NCAA is called Road to Glory. I'm really not too familiar with NCAA video game terminology, because the only one I ever played was NCAA 14, and I barely played that game until Madden came out. I uploaded some videos on it way back in the day. I mean, that's like 10 years ago now, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I uploaded a couple of videos on it, but once Madden came out, I just kind of stopped playing it. You know, I'm way more of an NFL fan than a college football fan. I don't really follow college football like that, but I do want to do a Road to Glory series, like an online franchise thing, not like the single player mode thing. So I don't know what it's called. Road to Glory might be the single player. I might be mixing it up, but an online franchise in NCAA. Let's just use that terminology to simplify things. I do want to do one of those, and I'm probably going to do it with the same group that we're doing this Premier Madden League. So we'll probably do like a Premier College League, if you want to call it that. So, you know, look forward to that. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, because obviously there's like 120, 140 colleges that you get to use and choose from. So it's not just going to be 32 NFL teams. So, you know, we're probably going to be playing the computer a couple of times, you know, regardless, because the max capacity of the online franchise in NCAA is still going to be 32, even though there are a lot more teams. James is cooking. Hello, James. More like goodbye, James. He's out of stamina and he just gets in there. Had to dive in the end zone to put the exclamation point on it, make sure that we scored for James, and we got it done. And James Cook might not just be our backup running back. He might be little bit of a special teams ace. I'm trying to balance between him and the 97 speed Rook Singleton to see who can play special teams for us. And yeah, James Cook might be that guy as Isaiah Bond is gone. Okay, but not so great tackling. We are in the fourth quarter, so the backups are in. So that's about all I got for you guys as far as chit-chatting about what we're doing out here. So let me know what you guys think about it. We're going to wrap up the rest of this preseason game. We're going to get on out of here, and then we'll work on Season 5 as Eric Singleton is adding to the special teams battle. Oh, man, Singleton coast to coast for the touchdown, and we might have to work out a compromise where Eric Singleton returns kickoffs and James Cook returns punts. Because they both have value in those specific categories, right? I feel like on punt returns, you want a more elusive player there. And on kickoffs, you want that straight line speed to just hit the gap and be gone. And I think that's how we're going to play that for Season 5. Special teams haven't been too great for us the past couple of years as far as kickoffs and punt returns, right? We used to get a couple of those with Travius, Hodges Tomlinson, and stuff like that. Not really so much. Special teams has been great for us with Chase McLaughlin. He's still that dude, but yeah. Finding some new niches to have some fun in this final season for Madden 24 before we hop out of here with our Los Angeles Rams. Just trying to make this stuff fun at the end of the day, right? It's June Madden, right? We got another 17 games in the slate. It's not something I'm looking forward to, but we're just going to try to find the best ways to have fun with it at the end of the day, whether it means winning, whether it means losing, but, you know, at the end of the day, Madden is always going to be a video game for me, and you know, I'm not a competitive Madden player, so I'm always going to be looking to have fun, and I think we've been doing a good job of that. Probably doing a lot better job than I expected as far as having fun and winning. You know, all the success that we've had is just like kind of a lot more than I could have ever expected with these Rams. I'm cool with just, you know, playing the games, and if we make playoffs, that's okay. And even if at that point, I'm not really pushing it that hard, but yeah, we're definitely overdoing things with these, overachieving with these Rams for sure. But I'll do it for the video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more Madden 24 online games. And next time I see you guys with this series, it will be week 1. And who knows how many games will be in that video. Who knows how long that video is going to be. But you guys can definitely dictate that by letting me know what you feel in the comment section. So until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you, as always, for watching.